Muy buenas noches en México.
Good evening, everyone in Mexico, and good morning in Cambodia. On behalf of La Buena Impresión, National Authority Apsara, National Authority of Preah Vihear, and the Royal University of Fine Arts in Cambodia, my name is Bethan Lovejoy. I'll be a moderator tonight, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Fernando Aceves Umana, who will introduce tonight's speakers. Good evening, everyone. We're gathered tonight and are really grateful for having archaeologists from Cambodia who have agreed to share knowledge about the research they do in the temples they're working on in the region of Preah Vihear
y en la región de Angkor.
and in the region of Angkor.
Para nosotros es muy importante que
It's really important to us
se den este tipo de intercambios, puesto que nuestra
organizing
intención
this
es
kind of events
que haya una relación más
and
fructífera
learn from each other.
y provechosa entre ambas naciones.
I'd like to thank
Pues quisiera yo agradecer
Pheng,
a
General Director of
Banteay,
National
director
Authority Apsara,
director general de la Autoridad Nacional Apsara,
also Diego Prieto, General
Diego
Director
del Instituto
of the
Nacional de
National
Antropología e
Institute of
Historia, y sobre
Anthropology and
todo a Chau
History,
Sunqueria, que ha hecho esto posible,
also
y pues
Shao Sunkeria.
a los
Thank you very
ponentes y
much.
arqueólogos
Thanks to the
que con
archaeologists
su
for their dedication.
solidaridad y entrega
Thank you.
nos ofrecen estas charlas. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Professor Fernando. Now I'll tell you a little bit about tonight's speaker, archaeologist Sothin Kim. He's a Deputy Director of National Authority Apsara in Cambodia. He'll tell us about conservation in the monuments of Angkor. He did a bachelor's degree in the University of Fine Arts. Later on, he worked in the Ministry of Culture, and he collaborated with the Far Eastern French School. He also worked in Japan, and he worked in an archaeology department in France and in Toulouse, France. He's done excavations in Cambodia to identify particular pieces and he's collaborated in restoration projects also. He has led several restoration projects in Cambodia, including the Vasa Temple and Shaktukmu Temple. Nowadays in Apsara, he collaborates with architects, providing advice Now, I'm glad to welcome Professor Sothin Kim.
Okay, so I would like to thank for the organizing the colloquium between Mexico and Cambodia. So I would like to present about the restoration of the temple in the middle of Srasrong. Is uh, in the Angkor Park. So So the work have been done by four archaeologists and four architects. So there are four architects and four stone conservator. So this is the general map of the Angkor Park and also the monument in Siem Reap here. So this is so the Angkor area is start from 9th century uh, and up to the end of 13th century. And then the empire was declined. But the civilization was continued, you know, until 19th century. So I would like to speak about of the main factor that to make the monument decay. So this is a kind of lack of maintenance. And the tree grow that also the main factor to damage the monument. And there are fungus and soil that also damage the stone. And also the water and acid that also affect to the stone. And flood, this is a flood in 2011 in Angkor. And the war and looting and some slide down was by erosion of the water. And now I will be zoom on my topic is about the restoration of the temple in the middle of Srasrong. Srasrong is located in front of Banteay Srei. The water pond have nearly 400 meter to longer 800 meter long. For this temple, for this pond, there are the inscription in the Bat Chum temple. Said that the pound was built during the King Rajendra Varman II. During the mid of the 10th century, built by the king of order the official from Buddhism to create this pound. And later on in the 13th century, during the King Simon VII, the king ordered the staff to reduce the pound and build the temple in the middle of the Srasrong. So here is the statement of the Srasrong pound. You can see in the middle of the like that, but in the water. And when in 2018, the pound was set, the dry. And the Excellency Homper, Director General of Apsara, ordered to take measures for the restoration of this temple. So this is during our visit is dry like that. So it is the local location for us to make the survey and then make a planning. And the ad hoc expert, you know, that during this document was present to the ad hoc expert. During this restoration, we found the document from the Mr. Mora, Mr. Lune Lasung, and Mr. Henri Sal. The and then we make the proposal to restore this temple. Again, the location of the temple. So as when we start work, you know, when we go to study, there is no water. So when we start work, so we get the budget from the private sector. And then the temple are in the filled by water surrounding. So we have to organize the side from the northern side, and also we have to make the dam surrounding the temple. And then we have to pump water out. And then you can see this statement. So this is the history, the old picture that show the this is the embarcadero of the Srasrong between in front of Banteay Srei before. And then this is in 1961, they was restored by French. And then the friend, Mr. Henri Marshall, go often to take 2 times to take the picture, the temple in the middle of Srasrong. And Apsara Authority redone the work that the friend done at the embarcadero of the Srasrong at the bottom in 2015. And again, you can see the current situation when the pond is dry up. You can see the stone is collapse and display like on the hill. And then, as we say, we have for starting work, we prepare the iron bar for making the dam and filled by the soil inside. And the dam was constructed, and we pump the water out. And then we start mapping the sketch stone. And this is we prepare the platform to store the sketch stone from the hill and store because we make the platform. We afraid the dam is broken or something, and then the water will be in the water. And then we start to move the stone, and then we reassemble the sketch stone. The sandstone, because the sandstone in the water, it become fragile and easy to broken. So we have to keep it dry and then we can work. After that, we can found all the sketches stone, and we now we do the we combine layer by layer, so we know that we found 153 stone. And then we can reconstruct the form of the monument. So in the height area is the losing stone. So in total loose the stone block, the number one is broken, and second is the stone in the water is broken and melt. We can recognize the form. And then we get the form of the monument. And we have all the list of the stone. And there are some stone, there are some literature behind the stone. But we cannot recognize what they wrote about. And for repairing the team, we have the Apsara staff that trained by Palem schools, Palem University that train, so they are in charge for stone consolidating and repairing. And then we didn't know how to put it back, so the architect team need to ask the archaeology team to make the excavation. And then Dr. Chia Suchiet and his team, 4 people, are in charge of the archaeological investigation. So their idea is to open it, the half of the monument, to see the entire structure, and then when he see the each part, and then he can recognize to the other part. And during the excavation, they found the Naga head, but it is like to place like a deposit of the depot foundation. And it is well prepared because the this Naga head is really strange because it have the crown on the head of the Naga. And you can see here they put the crystal surrounding the Naga head. And we found two tortoise, and that means face to the east, not face to the monument, but it face to the east of the to the east side. And like that. Uh, During this excavation, so the tortoise, the archaeologists mentioned that there are already the people have been uh, found and then open it and take what was inside. And also they found the trisola like that, and surrounding many quads. So they collect in total nearly 14,000 crystal, small and big size. And also we found the what we call the mouth of the Garuda in stone. And then they found the wooden in the surrounding in uh, the what we call like a pound. You can see the six. So the archaeologist is when they excavate, that means to understand what they was build the foundation. So as normally the Khmer monument built by, you can see the clay to make the die and to create like a form of the curve, like to fill the sand layer, the pure sand, and above they can put some the rock mountain. And then when we found also the wood is that connect, because they build the wood is the square, it is around nearly 3.7 meter long, that means square, but it lose one part. And then we found the laterite block. Some laterite block remain on this mount. So this is the general information of the view picture of the excavation. When we found many crystals, so the archaeologists open nearly the entire of the hill of the monument. And so the architect cannot build because the laterite was only the laterite we found, it is not enough for the architect to build, to make the form of the monument. So and then the archaeologists research in the French archive. So Mr. Henri Marshall have been go to the site, and then he did the sketch of, they found 4 layers of laterite and 1 layer of sandstone. That 4 sandstone are remain in the place in 1932. So by this old picture and text, the sketch that made by Henri Marshall, so the archaeologists try to define the form, and then you can see here they put the laterite and sandstone on the bottom of the monument that were found. And then the architect design two kind of the consolidation of the monument to submit to the ad hoc expert. So the design of the architect is to aid to build the lateral basement, you know, to because they know well the problem of the collapse of this monument, because in the past they build the clay and feel the sand and laterite. So when the water come and the sand can flow out, so the architect now they cut some a little clay. So the laterite is to take a rule to protect the sand in the inside. And then the ad hoc expert approve. He choose the option number 2 to let the team continue to restore the monument. And then they so the architect is designed like in the past to protect in the past. You can see in the beside they have put the what we call like the crystal, the like the deposit of the foundation beside. So the architect respect that, and by keeping the dye, the clay to protect the sand inside. And the clay also to keep you the between laterite and the clay, so they put the clay layer again. That means to keep the laterite stable. And then the construction is done. So during the work, as in raining season, so sometime the dam was the rain come. You can see here the water surrounding. So we have to pump the water every day. So the work have been done from March until December. Uh, and without non-stop, so that means the weekend, Sunday and Saturday also work. And then we get the result success, the form. And then the ceremony of the what we call the cutting rainbow to celebrate this monument by uh, by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Culture. And thank you for your attention. If you have any, comment or suggestion.
Thank you, Professor Kim Sothin. We'll do a Q&A session by the end of tonight's conferences. So, let me thank again Professor Kim Sothin. We welcome your comments. Click on the chat button and write them down there, please. Now let me welcome Professor Sam Oeun. He will tell us about his conservation work in Preah Vihear and let me tell you that he leads a master's degree in Thailand and he holds a bachelor's degree in archaeology in the University of Fine Arts in Cambodia. He's been part of National Authority of Preah Vihear. Nowadays, he's a Director of Conservation and Archaeology in the region of Preah Vihear. So let me welcome Professor Sam Oeun.
First of all, I want to say good morning to His Excellency, Professor, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends and colleagues. I am Sam Oeun. I'm an archaeologist, and I'm now working for the National Authority for Preah Vihear, mostly working on the management of the site of Preah Vihear and Angkor. Today it is my great honor to have an opportunity to participate the first Mexico-Cambodia Colloquium of Archaeology and Restoration, and have an opportunity to present our conservation and restoration work of the northern and eastern staircase of Preah Vihear Temple World Heritage Site, Cambodia. Let me share my screen to show my presentation of our activity for the restoration of the staircase. I will start from the Temple of Preah Vihear. In my introduction, where is the north of Cambodia. It's about 400 kilometers from Phnom Penh. The temple was built on the top of Dong Red Mountain.
Senor Oeun, please, could you turn, put your oh, okay, that's perfect. You're already done it. Thank you so much.
The temple was built on the top of the Great Mountain Range, and it is about 625 meters above the sea level, and the temple probably starting construction in the 9th century, end of the 9th century, and consequently continues by Angkorian Khmer kings in the reign of the King Soyamuman I, and maybe the last construction in the reign of the King Soyamuman II, which is mostly similar to Chichen Itza Temple in Mexico. The Temple of Preah Vihear constructed on the hill slope from South Cliff to the north is about 800 meters, and constructions with the connection from one temple we call here in Gobara, by the causeways, and terminated at the north road, which is northern staircase lie on the end. Here is a view of the temple. So far, showing here staircase is here. We cannot see from this panel because look a little bit far. Now I want to start from the northern staircase. We can see here this picture showing the whole staircase lying down to the north. And this picture showing just only the upper part of the staircase. In long time of no conservation activity, the staircase particularly suffer by some risks, like water erosion, tree root penetrating to the foundations, and many part of the stair were weak of structures. As there are some decoration elements along the staircase were damaged and disappeared. And you can see also this is the layout of the staircase, and I want to show that the staircase from our survey, we can know that it is 110 meter long, 38, let's say 39 meter of height, and about 11 meter of width. This is some old picture taken during French colonial period, and I put in that also from 1930s up to 2018, when the project is starting to conservation and restorations. During the time of preparation, the nomination dossier of Preah Vihear Temple in 2007, we also analyzes the risk of the whole temple, those including also to the northern staircase. The northern staircase put in the risk map at that time in the low risk, but maybe of time analyzing that we cannot see it all about the structure, the images of the whole staircase. And later on, our team who work in the National Authority for Preah Vihear start to analyze the whole structure of the staircase in order to make planning for intervention conservations in 2016. And here I would to show what the project of conservation and restoration of the staircase. And this project has purpose to enhancing the spiritual value of the ancient staircase, mainly revitalizing the religious activity. The second is stabilizing and preventing the ancient staircase by minimizing impact of the erosion of the water and natural factors, and also rehabilitation the value of the ancient staircase by strengthening its structure and refunctioning the drainage system, as well as the light and decoration along the staircase. This conservation and restoration project have been funded by the US government Ambassador Fund for Cultural Preservation. In 2017, an APV proposed the fund supported to AFCP, and then we have approval for the one-year project in the grant of $200,000 to implement the conduct survey and analysis, identify restoration priority of the comprehensive documentation of the current status of the staircase to be utilized as a basic documentation for conservation and restoration of this staircase. And here, the signing ceremony during the fund award with the presence of Excellency Madame Pheng Sakana, Minister of Culture and Fine Art of Cambodia, and His Excellency William Head, US Ambassador to Cambodia at that time. In September, we start our project activity. Here I just put some former president of an APV and His Excellency Kung Putka, as well as local authority who is working on the temple of Preah Vihear, joining for offering a ceremony to start our activity. And this project led by His Excellency Kung Putka, General Director of an APV, with a group of technical staff in skill of archaeologists, architectures, engineer, and stone conservator. Before starting, we need to clean the surface, because even we clean more the day, we daily maintenance for the staircase, but in wet season, vegetation grow very fast because of surface of staircase, especially the joining between block. They still have weight, and vegetation can be grow with the soil sedimentary. We also cooperate with the mining team to clearances the staircase before starting activity. Why? Because temple of Preah Vihear is under the conflict since 1970s. Unfortunately, we don't found any unexplored, but we just found some like I don't know in English, such kind of this tool, which can also something to the working group. And to be well understanding about the site, we also make a topographical survey because the staircase not just only like say construction of stone block, but it also related to natural rocks, which is using as its foundation, as well as some part carving at the stair steps. And we also make documentations with photograph, and mostly our colleague who's skilled in drone, using the drone for photogrammetry. We decided to take drone because the staircase is very long, and we cannot take only one shot of the camera, manual camera. So we need to process it in photogrammetry in order to make a drawing of plan also. And photogrammetry can be also processed in EDM that help us a lot to understand about the elevation of the staircase. And we can also understanding about the different sections of the whole staircase by natural rock connected and stone step building. For this, I just want to take a picture from photogrammetry to show that we can see also some areas like this, like here and here also, which is natural rock. One another important thing is the drainage system survey. We understand from the beginning that the staircase mostly decay because of the water affected. Those because of ancient drainage system, like a canal here, you can see here also, which is cutting the natural rock to be a canal, were blocked by the falling stone of the staircase. And some area of the drainage system were blocked also with the sedimentary. With this preliminary survey, we can understand some of the cost damages of the staircase. I just say because of rainwater and tree root. And here showing some location where is a problem occur to the staircase. And I just would to show some problem happen by rainwater. You can see here we have highlight in our plan that the canal is both sides of the staircase, and in plan we also put the section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the section of the staircase. In total, there is 26 sections. And we can understand that the mainly section happen because of rainwater flowing over to the staircase. For example, in the middle, where it's seriously condition damages, you can have look to the photo. It's all water flowing to the staircase, and then make a strong erosions, and the tree root also penetrating under this. Beside the rainwater foundation, also the main problem which is causing to the damages of the stair. In the picture, we can see some part of the stone slab disappear or missing, and some part we can see still even bedrock is the foundation, but however they also have a problem somewhere on the, especially the or somewhere of the wall or the step collapse also. And there's some picture also showing the problem of the foundation. And we try to analyze this, the reason or the cause of the damage. For example, here in this photo, we understand that the rainwater is coming like that, and then one part already collapsed for here. It's showing the picture. So you see a big part, nearly one section of the staircase erosion and missing of a stone step, even in foundations. To be understanding more, we also survey by archaeological excavations, and we select several area to excavate in order to understand the foundation of the basement, and we also need to understand what happened for the foundation of the staircase in the middle part here. This excavation also try to identify the chronological of the construction as well. Here we will show some picture and drawing of cross section relating to the result of the archaeological excavations at the basement of the stair, and we can understand that so far the staircase built up on the bedrock like this, and then after that some part they fill with the compact soils as a foundation, whereas the bedrock is still low. It's not reaching to the level of the construction proposed. And this also we try to understand the cross section of the basement from the excavation trends. And we can see just a little bit here. So far, this is the starting up of the staircase at the basement, and then in purpose of to be strengthening or the slide, I suppose maybe the slide or the erosion of this structure. We try to compact one more layer in this to be retaining the structure of the stone. We can see also in the cross section that the bedrock is like this, and then this starting 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3 step is under sedimentary, but so far this one layer is a compact layer to retain the first step layer of the stone here. And one another picture of archaeological excavation, we try to understand at the last stages of the platform. And we can understand that starting from here is the complete construction of the these three layer platform, and then they start to construct the staircase. And also to be understand at the middle of its foundation, we make a test pit to test pit. One here is where I connected to the bedrock, and one here where is the compact soil foundation, and we can understand that this is a foundation which is compact soil erosion, and the remaining we can understand this is all compact soil for a foundation to support the stone slab. And from this archaeological survey, we can see that so far the construction of the staircase is only using one block or one step of stone block, putting over the compact soil. That's why it quite erosion or damages because of rainwater and tree root penetrating. It's a lot of work to do is for a survey of the stone block. All stone blocks have been drawn and numbering. And I would to take the opportunity to inform all of you that we are just, let's say, young team. And then we need to train also our worker and also our technical staff to work properly in drawing. And also we have a system of numbering. So daily we have an architect expert who has experience to work in Angkor and come to help us and provide a training on methodology and technique, some of technique of work. From our survey, we understand that the component of the staircase is different, not just only one material applying. And firstly, we can understand that I would go back. Sorry. Firstly, we can understand that from the section 1 to the section 7, let's say from the upper, from here to somewhere here, another step of the construction. And the second step of the construction is also from the section 8 until the section 23. And I put here already in drawing about the width and of the staircase. So, and at the end, north is the platform. This I already present in the previous slide. And now we going to see at the north platform. In drawing, we put the three layer of the platform. And what happened is at the eastern part of the platform, they build the embankment, which is to protect this part of the foundation. Despite this, at the other side, let's say at the western part, is natural rock and a little bit higher than at the eastern part. So this no need to prepare or to build any embankment because natural rock is already as a retaining place. About the material of constructions, we can understand from excavation that the staircase construct a foundation with the compact soil, with the stone chip, and some part they not use only small stone chip, but a large, a little bit big stone chips. And we also understand that some part built by carving of natural rock. So here I just want to show the phase of a construction. Let's say first layer is the bedrock, and after that is possibly the first layer of the foundations, where some part needed to fill with the compact soils, and the second layer also, and then you start to construct the first platform, and the second platform, the third platform, and this starting to build staircases, or we can call interwalls. And later on, for sedimentary all part of the staircase that we don't see well, we didn't see well. That's why we need to excavate this part in order to understand of this chronology of the constructions. And here what another slide to just to show more about the different stage of the construction. We can, so from this we can understand that the construction of the staircase starting from the bottom to the top, and firstly start from the this three platform, and then this interwall, and then the final is starting from the section 7, as I have mentioned early, to the Naga balustrade. And this is just only some picture to show what the different technique of construction and the stone using for the construction of the staircase. And we also have a survey on the lion sculptures. In 1930s, Henri Pamonche's friend architect who visited the temple of Preah Vihear, and he sketched a layout of the temple like that, and then he put, I'm not sure that he have seen all the lion sculptures along the staircase, but he put like this, and then we try to find all of these lion sculptures. So finally, just only 8 lion sculptures we found, and almost broken. And among 8, just only 4 lion sculptures for possibility to restore. I will show in next slide about the restoration of the lion sculpture during our conservation and restoration project. After all information we have understand, we start to analyze this the structures. So in this sketch or in this drawing, we analyze by different use different color to identify and classifications what type of stone or type of images. And I just take two part of our work to show. And finally, we can understand, we can produce one map like the typologies of the risk. And you can see we put typology of stone block. We can understand that there's some bedrock, that somewhere missing stone, somewhere original stone still exists, and somewhere depressions or movement, and somewhere stone slab completely broken, and other where is a scary stone. After we understand all of this, we also produce the typology of intervention for the future. And we put just only different color and with the note that, for example, the blank one is no intervention required. If we look here to the map, just only this part and some part here, some part here, and almost at the bottom, there is no need to intervention of restorations. And in yellow color is a partial of restoration, and in orange we think that is the repairing the image. Okay, and red and blue, something like that. So now I'm going to show the process of our conservation and restoration. At the same phase period of 2018 and 19, we proposed to the fund donor as well as to discuss with the ad hoc expert of ICC Preah Vihear to propose restoration 1 sections, because section 5 as a pilot project. As I mentioned from the beginning, because we just start, our team just starting restoration first time for the Cambodian temple. So we take just only 1 sections to be restored. This section, we choose this section because we have all elements, stone broken, missing part, and no need to intervention. So we think that this section is very good for example to practice of conservation and restoration. And we have a principle for the restoration. Firstly, we select just only partial restoration based on our risk analysis. And our principle is partial dismantling and resetting. And the second one is repairing and the make stone. The third is replacing with the new stone, and the fourth is filling gap with the lime mortar. So here this is the section 5 before restorations. Its condition is like this. This is from top view, and this is from the north view. And then based on stone typology, we understand that where is the depression part, where is the missing stuff, and where is the natural rock. And when we start the restoration project, we more detailed analysis and to make sure that we understand properly and we find we can use methodology, or we can apply methodology and technique properly to restoration. And all of block have been numbering clearly before dismantling. And then we start to dismantling, and then we can understand what happened on the foundations. This is the area where is they have a bed, sorry, not bedrock, but a stone block. They use the stone block for retaining. Some part later on that we restore, we didn't see they use any stone block for the retaining of the foundations. And but for here, we didn't see. You can see they use this stone block as the retaining, but they also need to fill some complex soils. And from this picture, we understand that tree root is penetrating, and the complex soil become like weak foundations. And disturbing to show what the step of the staircase connecting from this to this, and then what happened for the foundation with the tree root. Back to the previous slide, we can see from this picture that the stone step is like this, and then natural rock like that, and then they use a compact soil. But at the bottom, they use another block of stone as a retaining wall. And this is diagram static. We are analyzing what the causes of the making of the stone slab. Let's say soil depression like this, and then sandstone block sunk, and then it can make this block movement or depressions. We can have can see the picture here also. And we follow the ancient methodology or technique. With this restoration project, we have proposed to replace it by new stone, and for some stone broken, and then we add one more layer on the original stone block for the retaining purposes. And then just only, you can see here, just only I go back, sorry, this slide. We decide to use one more block here and one more block here to you can see here to protect the compact soil, as well as to connect directly to the natural rock. And this is a picture of a stone block, new stone block we added to the foundations. Another busy work is the restoration of the stone block, because we try to keep the authenticity of the history of the stone. So we try our best to be preserving and restoring some of broken or damaged stone. And this is just showing some work for new stone to be used or replace it to the staircase. And this is the just only putting back after the foundation restorations, and after that we make some we fit we fix some lime mortar to prevent water continue to infiltration to the foundations. But however, because the staircase sloped down, so we let the water flowing on over the stone block. So this is I just want to show the stone using for only one section of restoration work on section 5, and we have data that we replace a new stone with the 14 block and repair 10 block and use stone block for foundation 1. And in this picture we can see also where is a natural rock and where is the new stone block. For example, this is a new stone block. Why? Because somewhere we need to use it because we need to strengthening the structure of the slab. Otherwise, the stone slab will have continue to have movement. For the lime mortar to be used for restoration work, we have formulated formula from a site in Angkor, and then we have an opportunity to discuss with the ad hoc experts of ICC Preah Vihear, and we propose a few formula like I mentioned here, and then each one using for a foundation and waterproof. So finally, we think that the second formula is acceptable, and the first is also acceptable for a foundations. This is the just only showing the result of restoration after we finish. And for the lion sculptures, at the first phase of restoration, we proposed just only one lion sculptures to be restored. So from our mapping, we understand that some part is broken and missing, and then we need to fix it with the fiberglass. And this is for our we need to work for documentations with different type of mapping, like deposit and decay, technique of execution and treatment, and just showing some activity of restoration. After fixing with the fiberglass, we still work on the missing part of the lake, and then we proposed to fix with the new sandstone. And this is a picture of before restoration and after restoration. After fixing with the fiberglass, we also fill with lime mortar to protect the water infiltration. And this missing part of front leg also replacing of fix it with the new stone. Now I would to continue for the second phase. Mean that after the comprehensive survey and pilot conservation of the section 5 finished in 2019, again we propose fund supported for the continued restoration and conservation of the staircase. And in 2020, we have received about $12,000 again from the ASCP. And with this fund support, we focusing on rehabilitation and restoration ancient drainage system, and restoring the staircase from section 1 to section 4, because we want to connect from 1 to 5, where is we already implementing in 2018 and 19. And because of COVID-19 pandemic, signing ceremony, even signing ceremony on the outdoor, and then still using masks with the presence of Excellency Minister again, with the Excellency Ambassador of United States to Cambodia. And it is the locations of the section 4 to section 1. As you can see below, this part is section 5 that have been done restore. So we start from 4 to 1. But because of the section 1 is the basement of this Naga balustrade, so we don't work on that. We just start from section 2. And here I just show some picture of the condition of the staircase from section 1 to section 2 before we do restorations. Again, I would go back to our risk analysis, because we need to base from this analysis for the continue or for any restoration plan. And after we dismantling at the section 4, we can understand that the technique of construction is like we sketching on these cross sections. The stone slab is mostly movement and depressions, and some broken. And we can see from this picture is the bedrock, the foundation compact soils is mostly damaged or weak. And we, different from the section 5, we have another experience for the section 4. They use compact soil, and somewhere they just put stone like this to be a retaining of the foundation, and this part is a compact soils. And this picture you can see also a big tree root crossing under the stone slab in the big compact soils. To be understand more about the density and the strength of foundation, we decide to use DCP, because our young engineer has knowledge in testing of DCP to understand about the strength of the compact soil, original compact soil. And we will follow the the strength of the ancient foundation after we restore the new foundation. And the same is a lot of stone fragment or stone broken that needed to be fixed and consolidated. And some part we also propose to reuse, to put more, to put a new stone. And we follow the previous technique and methodology. After restoration, we fill with the lime mortar to fix the gap between the stone block to protect the water or to not allow water flowing into foundations. As mentioned in our objective for the second phase restoration is to restore and rehabilitation of a drainage system. As we understand from the beginning that the staircase mostly eroded by rainwater. So restoration and rehabilitation of ancient drainage system is very important and must be interventions. So this showing the way of the water flow even from Naga balustrade directly to the staircase, and this part of the photography. So far they have a causeway like this, and then the originator function of this causeway is collecting water, not to crossing to the staircase. And but because of sedimentary the canal or the lower part of this causeway were accumulated. So we decide to make some activity. Here just only a picture to show of rain water affecting to the staircase. Some activity by was little divert or to make a canal, from this along the causeway to collect water and divert flowing to the pond at the bottom. And we understand that we need to rehabilitate the block of ancient drainage system at the eastern part, and also we need to rehabilitate and renovate the ancient drainage system along the western part, and we build a new canal, but to the northward. And this is showing the project design for a canal, and we make a curve like this, but we just build a brick just on the lower part, but with this embankment we just dig the soil, and then we grow some grass to prevent erosions. And for the western part, we build a small hole to collect rainwater and any rubbish or tree leaf falling down, and collecting the water. And then we use a pipe to replace where is a broken ancient one, which is impossible uh, restore. We do like that. And then we can understand the water that come, and then we use a pipe like this, and then we can go into the original ancient drainage. And one another way, we think that we need to work for preparation of rainwater somewhere with it possible for rainwater to flow out of the stairway instead of just only flowing down, which is a more and more big volume of water, and then it can be more erosions.
In this project, we had the participation of students from secondary school, from nearby communities. They received a course. They learned about the principles of restoration and conservation. And so they were able to learn and to become aware of the importance of this project. These are pictures from the project conducted in 2018 and 2019. It's not been completed yet, but we're expecting to finish it very soon. And it's our intention to continue with our work for 7 more years. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, Professor Sam Oeun. Thank you very much to the organizers. And thank you for your attention. It's been impressive. It's a very long project and a very interesting one. Congratulations, Professor Sam Oeun. Please, now Professor Fernando Aceves. Shall we proceed to a Q&A brief session? Of course. I received different questions. I'll pick a few. What do you think about this? What do you think about the painting of archaeology? It was just possible to do this thanks to the collaboration of Sharufa members and Chimtang Chia, who is a great painter who's working in Angkor. But you know what I'd like to know the most about tonight's speakers is what motivates them to be archaeologists. How did they become archaeologists in the first place? I knew I wanted to pursue this profession right after 1918, when there weren't many people who wanted to be archaeologists. And I wanted to roll in the University of Fine Arts. I applied to the university, and after 5 years, I now have the opportunity of working in the region of Angkor, one of the most famous places in the world in the field of archaeology. Did you have any other archaeological experience outside of Cambodia? I had the opportunity of being in Cambodia. I've been in Asia, in China, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, and I sometimes go to this kind of seminar. I have another question for Professor Sothin Kim. What motivates you to be an archaeologist? And did you work outside of Cambodia? When I started my bachelor's degree in archaeology, there were many people who laughed at me. They used to think that archaeology in the University of Fine Arts didn't know about it. They were confused about what I was about to learn. They wondered what I would be doing there. And in 1989, I was the first person when the university opened its doors again. We didn't really know how archaeology was going to be in the university. We thought it was going to be a lot of theory, history, because this was just right after the war started, so there was uncertainty. I started working with a friend later on. From Strasbourg University. I wanted to learn more about the origin of certain pieces. I wanted to learn about restoration of monuments. Now I lead a conservation project in Angkor. And I collaborate with architects and conservation, but I see that they do not have this kind of knowledge and this kind of sensibility. They did not put attention to many of the things they were doing. And now it's my job to pick professionals to do this kind of work. Many of them worked in Japan. Now with the pandemic, it's become a little bit more complicated, but we have archaeologists who are collaborating with us and explain young archaeologists and engineers what this job entails. When we study, we're not aware of the kind of work we're going to do, but when we do, it's important to have a network. And this time around, I'm really glad to have the opportunity of conducting this work. I have not been outside of Angkor for a long time. I recently came back. When Angkor became a World Heritage Site, I had to travel abroad, and when I came back, I didn't recognize the place. Nowadays, I conduct work there. And this is such a great opportunity I have. I work with international experts. We have to be really careful. In Angkor, we need professionals and a specialized people there. We have to work closely. Also, I love to see other restoration work. And there's different types of work that go together. Sometimes we cannot do certain things, we face difficulties. Sometimes we need to be very aware of the theory when we go to the field. And that's the kind of work I like to talk about. This was really interesting. There's lots of information to process. Thank you very much to our Cambodian colleagues. Fernando, would you like something, please, to this very interesting talk? I like to thank archaeologists' patience and their presence. Above all, thank you for sharing about the origins of your professions and why did you become archaeologists in the first place. Thank you very much to Fernando Aceves and Colectivo Tequio La Buena Impresión and the rest of the institutions that organized this event. We welcome you to join us tomorrow. We're going back to Mexico. Professor Raúl Barrera will be with us tomorrow. He'll share his experiences as an archaeologist. from different parts of Mexico City. Please go to INA TV to watch these recordings, and La Buena Impresión Facebook and YouTube channels too. Thank you very much, Fernando. Thank you everyone in Cambodia. Good evening in Mexico. Good morning in Cambodia. Thank you very much. Thank you.